Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make a Taco Bell fast food restaurant, including a drive-thru. I just wanted to take this time to tell you guys I really appreciate all of the love that these city builds have been getting. You guys have been so great with the suggestions and liking the videos. I really appreciate all of you very, very much. And that's kind of the soppiness part of this video over. I just wanted to tell you guys how much I appreciate you. If you want to make the inside of Taco Bell as well, I have actually made the inside too. You'll have to wait until later to see what I have done with the interior. It's a little bit different than all of the other fast food restaurants, but you'll have to wait until the end of the video if you do want to see it. But I do show you how to make absolutely everything that you can see on screen and on the inside too. Without any further ado, let's get started. Now, before we start placing blocks, ladies and gentlemen, I want to let you know that this tutorial is split into two parts. Number one, we are going to be building the outside of Taco Bell first. That will require all of these materials that you can see on the screen right now, and the amounts of those materials as well. However, once we have finished completing the outside of our Taco Bell, we will be moving on to the inside. The inside requires a completely different set of materials, which are going to be these ones that are now appearing on the screen right now. Feel free to grab all of those materials at one time if you like, but you only have to start off with the outside materials first, and I will be once again showing you the inside materials later. But if you want to be very well prepared, feel free to grab them all. The amount of space required to build Taco Bell is a 29 by 25 block area. Feel free to build this grid in your world if you are planning out a city. It will help you immensely. Now, pause the video if you have to. Gather those materials, make sure that you're ready to build this. Make sure you've got enough room, even build the grid if you wanna. And once you are ready, we can begin. Step 1, my city builders, we are going to come all the way to the front left-hand corner of our grid. I want you to count to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then inwards towards the center. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That way, if you've built the grid, we're both starting in the same place. I want you to start this build off by placing 8 terracotta in a row on the floor. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Extend one block towards you and place 8 orange concrete on top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Go right one, up one, right by 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then down one, right one, and go down by 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Connect that block down to the ground using a single terracotta. We're going to fill this space in a little bit later. Extend the terracotta that you placed on the ground backwards by 1, and then right by 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We are then going to extend this terracotta 2 directions. Number 1, we're going to extend it up. But number 2, we are going to extend it to the right, aka backwards, by 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I want you to extend this block number 1 upwards, but then we are going to extend this block across the back of our building, and the goal is for us to connect it to the front of the building. So you don't really have to count the amount of blocks, you just have to make sure that you can connect it across and to the right and then forwards like this. That is the shape that we want to have for the base of our Taco Bell. We are now going to start adding details, beginning with the entrance. So, I want you to come to the entrance, and I want you to begin by extending the 2 terracottas at the bottom of the entrance inwards, each by 1, like that. I then want you to place orange concrete on top of each one of those terracottas, and I want you to place 4 on top of each. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Connect them together, and fill in the above space using orange concrete. Like that. We are now going to fill down below in a little bit. So for the purpose of building the entrance, we are going to place a dark oak wood door in the middle of the empty space behind the terracotta and orange concrete. We are going to need black concrete to place left and right of that door like this. We want to place black stained glass block above the door, connecting across and over, with birch planks to seal up the remaining empty space. Place some smooth stone slab across the top of the glass of the door. We might as well make the logo. I thought that we would be doing this later, but hey, this is how it goes. We need purple concrete, magenta concrete, and also yellow concrete, which we already have. I want you to find the center of the orange concrete layer. So, above the door, right in the middle, I want you to locate this center orange concrete and move up by one. Place a yellow concrete coming out from this block, and magenta concrete left, right, above, and then left and right again to form this shape. Extend the middle block upwards by one and place purple concrete left, right, and on top. Place purple concrete going left and right at the base of the logo, and there you will have the Taco Bell. We are now going to move on and add further details around the build, which require us to grab our terracotta and birchwood planks again, and probably loads more stuff too. I want you to come all the way to where we very first started, which is this terracotta block here. On top of this block, place a terracotta. Right of it, place a birch plank, 3 glass pane, 1, 2, 3, a birch plank, and then a terracotta. On top of this, I want you to place birchwood planks on top of the birchwood planks and terracotta, and glass in between them. On top of this, I want you to place birchwood planks on top of the birchwood planks, and orange concrete above the glass connecting to the birchwood planks. Place an entire row of birchwood planks on top of that, and that will suffice for now. Do the same on the opposite side. On the opposite side here, going left of this raised terracotta, we are going to place a birch plank, 3 glass going left, a birch plank, and a terracotta. Place birch planks on top of the terracotta and birch planks with glass in between. Place birch planks on top of the birch planks and orange concrete on top of the glass. Place birch planks on top of all of this to give us something which should look like that. What we are then going to do is shift our attention to the sides of the build. We're going to start on the left side. I want you to take the terracotta that is sticking up from the front left corner and place a birch plank going left. 3 glass going left, 1, 2, 3, a birch plank, terracotta, birch plank, 3 glass, birch plank, terracotta, just like this. I want you to place birchwood planks on top of the birchwood planks and terracotta layer, with glass in between. I want you to place birchwood planks on top of the birchwood planks, with orange concrete in between on top of the windows. Finish off this particular layer with a birchwood plank row on top. Once you have done this to one side, we will do a very similar thing to the opposite side. It's actually almost identical. I want you to begin by taking this front terracotta and placing a birch plank going right. 3 glass after, birch plank, terracotta, birch plank, 3 glass, and then a birch plank. Place birch plank on top of the birch planks and the terracotta with some glass pane in between. Place birch planks on top of the birch plank layer with orange concrete on top of the glass. And then place birchwood planks on top of all of it. The back window here wants to be destroyed a little bit. I'm going to recommend knocking out the 2 panes on the furthest of the right of the window, which is closest to the back. When it comes to the back of Taco Bell, not much happens here. You can see where we have those terracottas on the front of the build sticking upwards next to the windows. We want those same terracottas to stick up on the back of the build as well. Measure it out by looking forwards and applying it to this back row. It should be fairly easy to do. Then, place birch planks in between these terracottas and place several layers of birch planks coming upwards to level the height of Taco Bell, just like this. Perfect. What we are then going to do is we are going to come towards the front of Taco Bell again, and we're just going to grab a few different materials. We will need primarily yellow concrete, which we already have. We will need red concrete, which we already have. And we will need some purple and some light grey. I want you to begin left of Taco Bell's entrance on top of the birch planks here. I want you to place a yellow concrete. And going left, I want you to follow a very simple pattern. You place a yellow concrete, purple, yellow, red, yellow, purple, yellow, red. Now you guys might be able to see the pattern. You place a yellow block, and then either a purple or a red, whichever one you haven't placed last. So it's yellow, colour, yellow, colour. So for instance, we've just placed red, which means yellow, purple, because we haven't placed that. Yellow, red, yellow, purple, yellow, red, yellow, purple. You guys get the idea. We want to place this going all the way around the top of Taco Bell. This will not be even. It is not going to start and finish in the same pattern or order that we have completed it. If I would have made Taco Bell slightly larger or a different shape, I could have made it so that the pattern followed around perfectly. However, I didn't want to do that because I was quite happy with the size of Taco Bell, and I didn't really want to make it really huge because that would look weird. But we will end up with this pattern going around Taco Bell. Place light grey concrete on top of this. This will be the final layer for the top of our Taco Bell. Once we have completed this layer, we are going to install a roof to Taco Bell. The roof I'm going to set one row downwards. Where we have placed all of the yellow, the red and the purple, we are going to install a yellow roof that is actually going to be very close to what we have on the inside of the build. The inside of the build, I have opted to place a row of yellow concrete for the ceiling. But it is actually going to be placed directly below this roof. And I'm coming to think that perhaps we should place the interior roof whilst we're at it, because we are here after all. I'm literally in the building. Once you've placed that layer of yellow concrete, I'd like you to place an additional layer of yellow concrete just like this. This layer of yellow concrete is going to be the actual ceiling space inside of your Taco Bell. Later on, we will install lights inside of Taco Bell, and they're going to be built directly into this yellow layer of concrete that we have sat up just here. But we won't be tinkering around with the inside much more until later on. But what we will do is we will make it so that behind the entrance here, we are going to use terracotta and birch planks to place terracotta here connecting to the entrance and birch planks left and right, so that we have a nice solid smooth wall like this. And that is pretty much that. We'll come back to the inside later on, don't worry, I'm not gonna forget. So now you can see we actually have a huge amount of detail applied to our Taco Bell. I'm very happy with Taco Bell so far. Next we are going to use spruce fence, spruce trapdoors, dandelions, or any flower that you like really. We're going to use smooth stone slabs or smooth stone blocks depending on if you have them. We are also going to use some grey concrete, white concrete, additionally some yellow carpet. We will even be using some light grey concrete as well, some purple concrete, and we'll be needing some more things too. First of all, we are going to finish the details on Taco Bell. I want you to, above every regular window, not including the drive-thru, place spruce fence left and right of the orange concrete above the windows, with spruce trap doors below the fence connecting together across the window. That's a really cool effect. We are going to do it, just to repeat myself, above every window except the drive-thru window. It's a really cool bit of detail. It really makes it stand out above all of your other fast food restaurants, and there's something about this I really like. It's a really, really nice, colourful restaurant. I really like this one. It's very, very cool. The resulting pattern will look exactly like this, by the way. So you can see, it does make quite a big difference. The last thing that we could actually do with the building, which kind of slipped my mind a little bit, is you can extend the orange concrete part of the entrance backwards. You can extend it backwards 2 rows, 3 rows, 4 rows, 4 rows. You can extend it backwards several rows if you like. I would extend the orange concrete that extends up and back just 2 rows backwards like that. So just from the side, it just looks a little bit better, in my opinion. I'm going to dump the orange concrete, and I've already got rid of the spruce stuff, and I'm just going to grab yellow concrete and the magenta concrete again. So now I am going to place dandelions underneath the windows on the front of the building. Feel free to place any or no flowers. We are then going to place smooth stone slabs in front of the entrance. The blocks are easier to place though. Destroy 2 solid rows of whatever the floor is in front of your Taco Bell, and replace those 2 rows using some stone slabs. I am going to give you guys a small disclaimer now. So from this point, Taco Bell on the outside is pretty much done. But I'm going to show you how to make it a drive-thru as well, which means we're going to install parking spaces, a path, and an actual way to drive around Taco Bell, and a drive-thru sign too. I'm going to show you how to do all of these things. If you're not interested in the drive-thru portion, depending on where you're building this, you may want to skip ahead. But if you want the drive-thru, then, well, that's exactly what I'm going to give you. Okay, so I'm going to extend the stone slab path that is the width of the door and 2 black concrete blocks forwards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, towards the end of the grid. I'm destroying these spaces, and I'm going to replace it with stone slabs. So if you have a drive-thru, you'd get out your car and you'd walk down the stone slab path. I'm going to destroy, next to the path, both of the rows of grass or whatever it is you're dealing with, and I'm going to replace those 2 rows with white concrete. Destroy 3 rows next to the white concrete and replace them using grey concrete. So destroy 3 rows going right on both sides, and this is going to be a parking space. So you don't have to use grey concrete, by the way. Whatever material you're using for roads, I say this in every single video because I don't want you guys to feel limited, use that material. Destroy another row going left and right of both of the grey concrete areas, and that is going to be a parking space on both sides. You can even place yellow carpet on the ends of the grey concrete. It adds colour and also a barrier for where the cars would be. Destroy 3 more rows next to each parking space and install an additional parking space. You'll actually have to destroy 4 rows, except the 4th row is going to be made out of white concrete because that is going to be the edge of the space. So the 3 rows in between will obviously be the road, wherever you park in the car, whatever you like to call it, and the white row is going to be essentially the paint that separates each one of these spaces themselves. Here, with the yellow carpet on the ends of each one of the spaces like this. And then what we're going to do is dig 3 entire rows around Taco Bell. So basically, this is pretty much all of the remaining empty space inside the grid. We are going to dig 3 rows going all the way around the outside of the Taco Bell and the empty spaces, and this is going to be the road which we are going to be using to navigate around to the drive-thru. You guys might be able to see how this might be a bit pointless if you're not interested in a drive-thru. You probably wouldn't have just a road that goes all the way around Taco Bell. I'm imagining that you could have this in multitudes of places. You could have this in a city, just kind of like people can walk by and drop in. You could have it on a street. It doesn't have to have a drive-thru at all. Hence why I wanted to give you guys a warning. Completely depends on context, on whether or not you're going to want to add whatever material it is you are using for streets around Taco Bell. I would use whatever you're using for streets. My personal favourite for streets is grey concrete because I like how it looks. It's just something about it I really like. But let's say you're using cyan terracotta, using wall, you're using, whatever material you're using for your streets, use that. Or don't. It doesn't actually even have to match, really. I mean, roads are made out of all sorts of different colours. You could use black concrete, black carpet, whatever. There we go, so you can see it really does make this build look a little bit more legitimate. It looks really cool. I'm going to chuck away the dandelions for a second and I'm going to grab the oak leaves. I'm placing oak leaves around the edge of the grids. Oak leaves are simply just a barrier that separates this build from all of the others. Feel free to add this or don't, but it does serve as quite a nice sort of... A lot of like fast food chains have like hedges and stuff around the part that you can drive around for a good reason, I imagine. The last bit of detail that we have to add to the outside of Taco Bell involves a large standing sign. The sign is going to be somewhere along this hedge on the left side of the build in front of Taco Bell. So I personally, if that's where Taco Bell begins, I'm going to count to the right 1, 2, 3 and place the sign here. Start off by placing 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 light grey concretes on top of the hedge. We're then going to place a yellow concrete in front of and behind that top light grey concrete. We want to place magenta concrete left, right and on top of all of the yellow concrete, extending the middle block upwards, purple concrete left, right and above, and then purple concrete left and right of the bottom of the logo. This might seem familiar. We are doing this also on the back of the sign as well, just because I thought that it'd look kind of cool having like a double layered sign. And we might even extend the light grey concrete upwards a little bit too. So from the sides and stuff, like, I don't know, it looks kind of cool, right? I don't know, I kind of like it. And then we're going to extend up the light grey concrete just up 1 row away from the top because, I don't know, I like that. It just looks a little bit better. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is outside of your Taco Bell. If you're not interested in continuing, then the tutorial is over for you, but we are going to get rid of all of these and all of those too. And we're going to focus work on the inside of Taco Bell. I'll show you how to make the entire inside. You will need all of these materials that are on the screen right now in front of you, and you will need those correct amount of materials as well. Please pause the video if necessary. Make sure that you have all of those materials ready. We're going to be getting right into it as soon as you guys have grabbed them. Pause the video if necessary. I'm going to get them myself as well. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I have just finished gathering all of those materials. I hope that you guys are as ready as I am. Once again, pause the video if you have to, but let's get straight to it. So, step number 1, we have to come inside of our Taco Bell. We are going to begin, first of all, by reflooring Taco Bell. I'm just going to grab that door. So, the floor of Taco Bell, I have decided to make spruce planks. Most of the floor is covered up by either tables or carpet or whatever it is it might be. But the base of the floor, I have decided to use spruce planks because we have already used spruce planks in the construction of the build, or spruce blocks I should say, with the detailing that we placed under the windows and the fact that I didn't really want to use either terracotta or birch. I thought that spruce would be a nice compromise between a flooring material. I kind of wanted to keep it a little bit dark and scenic for the floor because there is so much colour bursting inside of our Taco Bell that I thought that it'd just be way better to have a dark floor to contrast against all of the crazy colours that we're going to have going on here. Feel free to use different materials. Feel free to install a white floor. Feel free to use birch. Feel free to use terracotta. Use a black floor if you want. Feel free. Use whatever material you want to use. Use glowstone if you like. It doesn't matter. But spruce, I think, is quite a nice material to use. So now that we've applied the spruce on the floor, I'm just going to place some torches around Taco Bell, just to kind of lighten it up a little bit. I'll probably be replacing a decent amount of these torches later, but I want to keep the tutorial nice and bright for you guys until we install the ceiling lighting. I'm going to begin by placing the counter. The counter of Taco Bell, we want to start right here on the right side of our building, which is just one row away here from this glass, and we're going to place 8 terracotta coming left of this block. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It lines up perfectly with the terracotta next to the entrance. Leave a gap of 1 coming backwards and then place 3 more terracotta like this. Coming along the back wall here, left to right, I want you to place a yellow concrete, purple. Leave a gap of 2 and then place yellow, purple, yellow, coming across the back wall. I want you to place quartz stairs on top of the counter. The quartz stairs are going to be placed 2 rows away from each end, which will give them 2 rows away from each other like this. We are now going to place a drinks machine area, which is going left of the counter at the back here. You leave a gap of 1 and then place 1, 2, 3, 4 green concretes moving left. I then want you to place in the back left corner of your Taco Bell an orange concrete. Extend it forwards 2 rows and right 2 rows. Place quartz stairs around the inside. That is a table. There are multiple tables and stuff around our Taco Bell. We are going to have a different variety of a table. Leaving 1 row away from the concrete here, we're going to place a quartz stairs, gap of 1 and a quartz stairs on the opposite side here, facing each other. In the front left corner of Taco Bell, we are going to place a purple concrete and extend it 2 rows towards the back, 2 rows across the side. Quartz stairs in the middle. Leave a gap of 1 and I want you to do the same thing using red concrete. Leave a gap of 1, red concrete, 2 rows forwards, 2 rows left. Quartz stairs in the middle. I then want you to come to the opposite corner of Taco Bell, use green concrete and place 1 in the corner, 2 green concrete forwards, 2 going right, quartz stairs around the inside. Gap of 1, place a yellow concrete, 2 going right, 2 forwards, quartz stairs around the inside. As easy as that. We are now going to dismiss these materials a little bit, and I'm quickly going to grab this oak door because we only need it once really, and I'm just going to replace the door. So, plop, there we go, that's perfect. Now I can delete the door, and I can grab our second row of materials here, which is the fence, red carpet, orange carpet, yellow carpet, green carpet, purple carpet. We're going to need furnaces, cauldrons, and flower pots. I'm going to place a spruce fence in the corners of every single one of these seating areas, including the little special seating area here as well. On top of the fences, I'm going to place whatever colour carpet you like, pretty much like a red, orange, yellow, green, purple, red. Just like that. Whatever colour you like. Probably don't have any floating in the air. We are now going to place carpet in our Taco Bell. So the carpet is actually multicolored. The carpet is made up out of all of these carpets and it is to be placed randomly. So the idea of this carpet is it wants to lead you from the entrance right? And you can place this in any way that you want. You can form a pattern out of it if you like. You know, I wouldn't want it repeating, but you can form a pattern out of it. You can make it look exactly how you like, but you want a 3-row wide carpet leading forwards, and it's going to come forwards towards where the counter is here, like this, and we're going to have 2 or 3 rows coming to the right. And again, you know, I want to try and do this quickly because I don't want to spend too much time just explaining a carpet, but we want to have a carpet leading you to the counter. I always like to make it so that everybody knows where to go. So like you'd come forwards and then you'd come right around the counter. But I also want the carpet to come out to the left here as well. The carpet wants to come out to the left, and it just wants to stay probably about here. It wants to stay 1 row away from all of these booths, but it does want to kind of like wrap around the booths a little bit. Like it wants to like keep the shape, and it just wants to come forwards as well. Like we might have to alter this a little bit, but the idea is you want to leave like 1 row away from everything. Like it doesn't really want to touch anything. Maybe this is about as far as it goes, and it just adds a load of color to the build. So something like that, you know, something like that would actually look fine. You could even probably shave a layer off here if you wanted to. So that actually looks quite good. It's a nice multicolored carpet that kind of like encompasses all of our Taco Bell. So now that we've done this, we can actually install the ceiling lights. So I'm just going to get rid of the spruce fence and the red carpet for a second, and I'm going to grab glowstone and spruce trapdoors. So the ceiling lights are quite easy to place, and I'll tell you why. The ceiling lights go above every single table. So where there is a table, there will be a ceiling light. The only challenge is making sure that the light is above the table. You can easily do this by placing something on top of the table and then destroying that corresponding block above where the table is, or above where the glowstone is. The lights, you see, I just made a boo-boo, so I'm going to grab the yellow concrete because that's going to happen again. There we go. So the lights are above all tables, and the lights want to also be, you see where this middle table is here? We want to leaving, what does that work out to be? We want to leave a row of 2 between the light and the middle table, and then also another row of 2 because that is also where this table is. You can kind of see, so like the light is above the table here, here, and here, and you want to follow that along and copy the other positions for the lights using the previous positions and where the tables are, and you want to place glowstone. And that is pretty much all the lights are, except I'm also going to use a little bit of spruce trapdoor to keep with the theme, to dampen the effect of these a little bit. Feel free to add some fancier lights in if you like. The idea of these tutorials is really to give you a bit of a guide, but if you want to add better detail, then feel free. You're not going to hurt my feelings if you replace some stuff. So now we have some ceiling light. The next thing that I'm going to do is come towards the back of the build behind the counter space. On top of the first 2 yellow and purple concretes, I'm going to place a double high furnace for cooking. 2 cauldrons on the ground for frying. Flower pots on the left and right yellow concrete blocks. Additionally, you can use flower pots as cups about the place. I also want you to place flower pots on the right and left side of these grey concrete areas here. And then I'm just going to splatter them about on each one of the seating areas, like this. You can even use, I believe, sea pickles to create green cups if you like. If you want, you can even spray a little bit of, or disperse I should say, a little bit of carpet along the countertop to keep it nice and bright. We are going to now use some different materials. We'll need white concrete, brewing stands, iron trapdoors, tripwire hook, lever or levers, whatever, chests, painting. We don't need cauldrons anymore, and we'll probably need some other stuff as well. On the back here, I'm actually going to refloor the place behind the counter. I feel as though that it should be a different colour. I don't know why, it just seems right. So I'm going to delete basically underneath the cauldrons and the entire space behind this counter, and I'm going to place white concrete. I'm going to place iron trapdoors above the cauldrons with levers above them. I'm going to use a brewing stand in front of these pots and place tripwire hooks above there to look like a dispenser. I'm going to place chests behind the counter space here on the left and here on the right like this. I'm even going to place chests left and right of the drinks area, with brewing stands on top the two middle parts of the drinks area with tripwire hooks going along the top of it. That is a huge amount of detail complete. The last bit of detail really requires us to place some paintings, and we're even going to need a solid block and maybe even some more torches. I've placed a lot of torches around the place, but some of them are actually in the places that I want to place paintings. I want to have two paintings, one on both sides, left and right of the entrance. I want a 2x2 or a 1x2 painting actually, right here in the middle on both sides. You can have whatever painting you like. Whatever's your favourite, feel free to apply those ones. It really doesn't matter which. I just like a little bit of colour on the inside of these restaurants, as if we don't have enough. I'm placing torches left and right of the paintings too. I have some very specific paintings in mind for the very middle of the restaurants, or the very middle of the restaurant. They go right in the middle here, and yes, that's one of them, fantastic. And I'm going to place torches left and right. And on the opposite wall here, I'm going to place... not that one. That one! That's perfect! I can't believe how lucky I got. And then torches left and right of that painting. Feel free to apply additional torches wherever you feel as though it's a little bit dark. You can even apply it to some booths if you like. Probably not that one to keep things nice and bright. Completely up to you. But for the most part, ladies and gentlemen, I mean, this area is kind of really done. I mean, this is your Taco Bell. Why don't we take a look at the whole thing all together? Because this is the restaurant complete, ladies and gentlemen. Well done. So this is what the outside of your Taco Bell should look like once it's been 100% fully completed. It has a really nice, colourful exterior. Plenty of branding using the Taco Bell logo. It has parking spaces out front. It has a drive-through which goes all the way around the outside of your Taco Bell with a drive-through window which leads into the kitchen area inside the building. Plenty of colour, flowers, hedges, life around the build. A path that tells you exactly where you've got to go. When you get inside your Taco Bell, you have plenty of carpet telling you where you can go and order your food or drinks or whatever you want from here. We have a cooking area and payment area. This is where you would get all of your food. We have a drinks area just left of the sort of kitchen space. We have plenty of seating around Taco Bell, plenty of light, plenty of colour, keeping it nice, bright and fun. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is pretty much your entire Taco Bell. I do hope that you guys have enjoyed this tutorial. If you have, please do remember to hit that like button, as it really helps me and the channel out so much. If you are new around here and you want to see all of the city builds that I'm going to be building in the future, please subscribe and click the little bell next to the subscription button. That'll ensure that you got my stuff sent directly to your sub box. And not only that, ladies and gentlemen, feel free to leave a suggestion down below in the comments. I do read them and I do keep making what you guys want to see. So, if you want to see all of the past suggestions, check out the card system and the description below. So far, in brand new buildings, brand new made this year buildings, we have Taco Bell, we have a music store, we have McDonald's, we have a cafe, Pizza Hut, Burger King, KFC, Starbucks and a Subway. This is the start of a really cool city, or town, or just cool slight upgrades that you can make to your cities. All of that is in the card system and the description below, and I'll even leave a link in the top of the description leading you to where you can make all of these, which is the City Builds playlist. Tell your friends. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. I appreciate you all very, very much. The love that you guys have been giving this series has really made me happy. I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.